Hello Swatantra TV viewers. I am Mahima, welcoming you to our English bulletin with latest news, updates and analysis. A day before his swearing in as the Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, TDP Supremo N. Chandrababu Naidu on Tuesday announced that Amravati will be the sole capital of the state. Naidu made this announcement while addressing a joint meeting of TDP, BJP and Jana Sena legislators, where he was unanimously elected as NDA leader in the Andhra Pradesh Legislative Assembly. There will be no games under the guise of three capitals. The capital is Amravati. Amravati is the capital, said Naidu. As the first chief minister of bifurcated Andhra Pradesh between 2014 and 2019, he had floated the idea of Amravati as the capital city. However, this brainchild of Naidu suffered a setback in 2019 when the TDP lost power and Vyas Jagan Mohan Reddy-led YSRCP won a landslide victory. Jagan Mohan Reddy poured cold water on the Amravati capital city plans and propounded a new theory of three capitals, which Naidu has now replaced with the decision to have a single capital. The NDA alliance of TDP, BJP and Jana Sena won a landslide victory in the recently concluded simultaneous Lok Sabha and Assembly elections in the state with a brute majority of 164 Assembly and 21 Lok Sabha seats. The triumph has breathed new life into the Amravati capital city project.
Mana Rajdhani, Amaravati, Amaravati Rajdhani, Visakhapatnam, Arthika Rajdhaniga, ఒక ప్రత్యేకమైన సిటీగా ఆధునికమైన నగరంగా తయారు చేసుకుందాం. దాన్ని ఎప్పుడు కూడా నేను కంబైన్డ్ ఆంధ్రప్రదేశ్ కూడా గుర్తుపెట్టుకున్నాను. విశాఖపట్నం అటు జనసేనకు, తెలుగుదేశానికి, బీజేపీకి ముగ్గురు కూడా చాలా ముఖ్యమైన నగరం ఇది. ఆనాటి ముఖ్యమంత్రి విశాఖపట్నాన్ని రాజధానిగా చేస్తాను, ఎన్నికలు అవుతానే అక్కడే ప్రమాణ స్వీకారం చేస్తానంటే నువ్వు రావద్దు అని ప్రజా తీర్పిచ్చిన రాజధాని నగరం విశాఖ నగరం. అంటే ఎలాంటి టెంప్టేషన్ కూడా లొంగలేదు వాళ్ళు. ఇది ఒక అనుభూతి. విశాఖపట్నాన్ని మర్చిపోయే సమస్య లేదు. తగిన గుర్తింపిస్తాం. ఒక అరాచక పాలన, ఒక విధ్వంసకర పాలన. మామూలుగా ఇది చూస్తే ఈ కూటమి ఏర్పాటు చేసినప్పుడు కూడా నేను ఎప్పుడూ మర్చిపోలేను. ఇప్పుడే పురంధేశ్వరి గారు చెప్పారు, పవన్ కళ్యాణ్ గారు చెప్పారు. మూడు పార్టీలు కూడా ఒక అత్యున్నతమైన ఆశయాల కోసం పార్టీలు పెట్టినప్పటికీ ఈరోజు కలయిక కూడా మీరు చూస్తే, ఈ కలయికని చాలా ఎన్నికలు చూశాను కానీ నా చరిత్రలో ఎన్నికలైన తర్వాత కంప్లైంట్స్ ఉండేటివి. ఇక్కడ పలానోళ్లు సరిగా పనిచేయలేదు, ఇక్కడ ఈ నాయకులు కోఆపరేట్ చేయలేదని. నేను చూసిన మొట్టమొదటి ఎన్నిక ఈసారి ఎన్నికల్లో మాత్రం 100% మూడు పార్టీల నాయకులు, కార్యకర్తలు సమిష్టిగా పనిచేశారు. దానికి కారణం మనం ఒకసారి అన్వేషిస్తే, ప్రజలు మనోభావాలకు అనుగుణంగా మన కార్యకర్తలు కూడా ప్రవర్తించే పరిస్థితికి వచ్చారు. రాష్ట్రంలో ఉండే ప్రతి ఒక్క కార్యకర్తని, మూడు పార్టీల తరపున ఉండే ప్రతి ఒక్క కార్యకర్తని, నాయకుడిని మనస్ఫూర్తిగా అభినందిస్తున్నా, ధన్యవాదాలు తెలియజేస్తున్నా, కృతజ్ఞతలు తెలియజేస్తున్నా.
The Congress on Tuesday said the allocation of the parliamentary affairs portfolio inspires no confidence whatsoever that Prime Minister Narendra Modi wants Parliament to function any differently than how he has run it over the past decade. The opposition party asserted the India bloc is more than determined to reflect the will and mandate of the people in both houses of Parliament most effectively. While Kiran Rijiju has been appointed as the Minister of Parliamentary Affairs and Arjun Ram Medwal would be the Minister of State in the Ministry of Parliamentary Affairs. In a post on X, Congress General Secretary Jairam Ramesh said the allocation of the parliamentary affairs portfolios inspires no confidence whatsoever that the one-third Prime Minister wants Parliament to function any differently than the manner in which he has run it over the past decade. However, whatever be the divine signals, the India bloc is more than determined to reflect the will and mandate of the people in both houses of Parliament most effectively, he said. The opposition India bloc, which has emerged stronger in this election with 235 members in Lok Sabha, looks to take on the government on issues concerning people, including on price rise and unemployment. The Supreme Court on Tuesday sought the response of the Centre and the National Testing Agency on a plea seeking fresh conduct of Medical Entrance Exam NETUG 2024 on the grounds of alleged question paper leak and other malpractices. Taking note of the allegations of paper leak and other malpractices, a vacation bench of Justice Vikram Nath and Justice Ehsanuddin Amanullah said sanctity has been affected, so there is need for answers. The top court, however, refused to stay the counselling of successful candidates for admissions to MBBS, BDS, and other courses. Besides the Centre and the NTA, which conducts NETUG, the bench also issued notices to the Bihar government. There were allegations of malpractice in the examination in the state. It tagged the plea filed by Shivangi Mishra and 9 other MBBS aspirants with a pending one and asked the NTA to file the response in the meantime. The top court's benches will resume regular hearings on 8 July after the summer vacation, which commenced on 20th May. It, however, did not agree to the submission of lawyer Matthews J. Nidumpara, appearing for the students, that the counselling of students be stayed in the meantime. The apex court bench took note of submissions that the fresh plea be tagged along with the earlier similar petition on which a bench headed by Chief Justice of India D.Y. Chandradarchud had issued notices to the Centre and the NTA on 17th May, and that plea was already listed on 8 July. AAP asked the ruling NDA constituents TDP and JDU on Monday to ensure the Lok Sabha Speaker is from one of the two parties, and said this would be in their interests as well as that of the Constitution and democracy. At a press conference here, AAP Rajya Sabha MP Sanjay Singh said the opposition India bloc will have a crucial role to play in case the TDP fields its candidate for the Lok Sabha Speaker post without the BJP's support. Singh said the BJP gave less important ministries to its NDA partners while keeping all the important ministries to itself. The India bloc should consider the possibility of the TDP fielding its candidate for the Lok Sabha Speaker post, Singh said. If the TDP fields its candidate, the role of India constituents, including the Congress, will be very crucial, he said. AAP, a constituent of the India bloc, contested 22 Lok Sabha seats across Delhi, Punjab, Haryana, Gujarat and Assam. It managed to win just 3 seats in Punjab and lost the rest. It had contested the seats in Delhi in alliance with the Congress. The BJP-led NDA formed its government at the centre for the third time in a row, winning 293 Lok Sabha seats out of 543, while the India bloc bagged 234.
कभी शिक्षा मित्र के सवाल, कभी ओल्ड पेंशन के सवाल, और मुझे निलंबित किया गया, बाहर किया गया। तो मैं अभी भी इस घटना के बाद कि एनडीए के घटक दलों को झुंझुना मंत्रालय मिला है, मैं टीडीपी, जेडीयू जैसे दलों से अनुरोध करूंगा कि कम से कम स्पीकर अपना बनाइए। ये आपकी पार्टियों के हित में है, ये बाबा साहब डॉक्टर भीमराव अंबेडकर जी के द्वारा दिए गए संविधान के हित में है, और ये भारत के लोकतंत्र की रक्षा के हित में है। ये संसदीय परंपराओं के हित में है कि स्पीकर टीडीपी का होना चाहिए और अगर बीजेपी उस पर समर्थन नहीं करती तो इंडिया के घटक दलों को निश्चित रूप से इसके बारे में विचार करना चाहिए। बीजेपी के समर्थन के बगैर अगर टीडीपी अपना स्पीकर का उम्मीदवार मैदान में उतारती है तो इंडिया के घटक दलों की और इंडिया गठबंधन की बहुत महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका होगी, कांग्रेस से लेकर सारे दलों की।
A 13-year-old boy has been apprehended for allegedly sending an email to the Delhi airport falsely claiming that a bomb had been planted in a Toronto-bound Air Canada flight, police said on Tuesday. The boy sent the threat just for fun to check whether it could be traced back to him or not, they said. After being apprehended, the boy was produced before the Juvenile Justice Board. On 4th June, a PCR call was received at 11:25 p.m. regarding a bomb threat email for flight number AC043 scheduled from Delhi to Toronto at the IGI Airport Police Station, Deputy Commissioner of Police Usha Rangnani said. Based on the information received, the Delhi airport was put on high alert and a full emergency was declared on the premises, she said. Guidelines and protocols as per the SOP were properly followed to ensure the safety and security of the passengers. After a thorough search of the flight, the threat email was found to be a hoax, said the DCP. On a complaint received from Air Canada Airline, an FIR was registered in the matter, Rangnani said. The investigation led the police team to Meerut in Uttar Pradesh. The sender of the email turned out to be a 13-year-old boy, the DCP said. The Lok Sabha poll results have come as a reality check for overconfident BJP workers and many of its leaders as they were happy in their bubble and enjoying the glow of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's aura but not listening to the voices on the streets, an RSS-linked magazine has said. An article in the latest issue of Organizer magazine also noted that though the RSS is not a field force of the BJP, the party leaders and workers did not reach out to its volunteers seeking their cooperation in electoral work. Neglect of older dedicated workers who worked without the urge for recognition by the new age social media-aided selfie-powered activists was also evident in the poll results, it said. Maharashtra is a prime example of unnecessary politicking and avoidable manipulations. NCP faction led by Ajit Pawar joined BJP though BJP and split SS Shiv Sena had a comfortable majority. Sharad Pawar would have faded away in 2-3 years as NCP would have lost energy with infighting between cousins, the R-Talk, he said. The BJP fared poorly in Maharashtra as it could win only 9 seats compared to the 2019 tally of 23 constituencies out of the total 48. The Shiv Sena led by Shinde faction bagged 7 seats and Ajit Pawar-led NCP just 1. The inquiry commission looking into alleged irregularities in the power sector during the previous BRS government's tenure has issued notices to former Telangana Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao, known also as KCR, and several others, and sought their responses as part of its ongoing probe. Retired Justice L. Narasimha Reddy, head of the commission, told reporters here on Tuesday that the panel has identified 25 officials and non-officials who took decisions on the issues under inquiry. KCR sought time till the end of July to submit the reply, but the commission told him to furnish it by 15th June as it had only a limited period available, he said. Speaking to reporters on 12th March this year after a cabinet meeting, State Information Minister Panguleti Srinivas Reddy had said retired Justice L. Narasimha Reddy would head the inquiry into the alleged irregularities with regard to Bhadradri and Yadadri power plants. The inquiry would also cover the power purchase concerning the Chhattisgarh government during the previous BRS regime. The duration of this probe would also be 100 days, he had said.
మీ అందరూ తెలుసు, ముందు ఈ కమిషన్ ఏర్పడగానే ఈ 3 విషయాల్లో ఛత్తీస్గఢ్ నుంచి పవర్ పర్చేజ్ అగ్రిమెంట్ ఒకటి, రెండవదేమో భద్రాద్రి థర్మల్ పవర్ స్టేషన్, మూడవది యాదాద్రి థర్మల్ పవర్ స్టేషన్. ఈ 3 కూడా టెండర్ ప్రక్రియ లేకుండా ఒక డైరెక్ట్ నెగోషియేషన్ ద్వారా ఇచ్చినాయి. మొదటిదేమో ఛత్తీస్గఢ్ అక్కడ పవర్ ఏజెన్సీకి, రెండేదేమో ఈ నిర్మాణానికి బిహెచ్ఎల్ కాంట్రాక్ట్ ఇవ్వడం. అయితే అందరికీ లెటర్ రాసి దాదాపు 25 మందిని ఐడెంటిఫై చేసినాము. ఈ ప్రక్రియలో నిర్ణయం తీసుకున్న అధికారులు కానీ లేకుంటే అనధికారులు కానీ వాళ్ళందరికీ అందరూ కూడా వారు జవాబులు ఇచ్చినారు. ఒక మాజీ ముఖ్యమంత్రి చంద్రశేఖరరావు గారు జూలై ఎండింగ్ వరకు టైం అడిగినారు. అయితే మేము వాళ్లకు లెటర్ రాస్తూ మ్యాక్సిమం జూన్ 15th వరకు ఇవ్వండి, మాకు టైం లిమిటెడ్గా ఉందని. ఇంకొక అధికారి కూడా రావాలి.
Benchmark equity indices Sensex and Nifty ended almost flat on Tuesday after a record-breaking rally, as investors preferred to remain on the sidelines awaiting further triggers. After trading in the positive territory for the most part of the trade, the 30-share BSE Sensex declined 33.49 points or 0.04% to settle at 76,456.59 due to fag-in selling. During the day, it jumped 370.45 points or 0.48% to 76,860.53. In a volatile trade, the NSE Nifty ended marginally up by 5.65 points or 0.02% at 23,264.85. Sensex and Nifty hit their all-time high levels in the early trade on Monday. After a notable rebound, the domestic market has stabilized, awaiting further triggers. With the resolution of uncertainties in government formation, attention has shifted back to global and domestic indicators. Concerns have risen regarding potential US rate cuts following last week's strong US job data, leading to an increase in US bond yields. Among the 30 Sensex companies, Kotak Mahindra Bank, Asian Paints, Reliance Industries, ITC, Sun Pharma, ICICI Bank, Axis Bank and JSW Steel were the major laggards. Larsen & Toubro, Tata Motors, Maruti, NTPC, Mahindra & Mahindra and Ultratech Cement were among the gainers. Foreign institutional investors bought equities worth 2,572.38 crore rupees on Monday, according to exchange data. Rahul Gandhi on Tuesday targeted the Modi government over dynastic politics and dubbed the NDA ministry a Parivar Mandal, as he pointed out several ministers in the Modi 3.0 government who hail from political families. Those who call the tradition of struggle, service and sacrifice of generations as nepotism are distributing the will of power to their government family, Gandhi said in a post in Hindi on X. This difference between the words and actions is called Narendra Modi, he added. In his post, Gandhi named H.D. Kumaraswamy, son of former Prime Minister H.D. Deve Gowda, Jyotiraditya Scindia, son of former Union Minister Madhav Rao Scindia, Kiran Rijiju, son of first pro-tem Speaker of Arunachal Pradesh Rinchin Kharu, Raksha Khadse, daughter-in-law of former Maharashtra Minister Eknath Khadse, and Jayant Chaudhary, grandson of former Prime Minister Chaudhry Charan Singh, as part of NDA's Parivar Mandal. To the list, he added Ram Nath Thakur, son of former Bihar Chief Minister Karpuri Thakur, Ram Mohan Naidu, son of former Union Minister Taran Naidu, Jitin Prasada, son of former MP Jitendra Prasada, Rao Inderjit Singh, son of former Haryana Chief Minister Rao Birendra Singh, and Piyush Goyal, son of former Union Minister Ved Prakash Goyal. Rahul Gandhi's post came in response to Prime Minister Narendra Modi accusing the Congress of practicing dynastic politics during the election campaign for the just concluded Lok Sabha polls.
कांग्रेस पार्टी के लीडर और हमारे प्यारे कार्यकर्ता अमेठी के, रायबरेली के, मैं आपको दिल से धन्यवाद करता हूं कि आपने इतनी मेहनत की और रायबरेली में और अमेठी में आपने और रायबरेली अमेठी की जनता ने और सब नेताओं ने मिलकर कांग्रेस पार्टी की जीत करवाई। इस बार जैसे प्रियंका ने कहा, कांग्रेस पार्टी रायबरेली में, अमेठी में, उत्तर प्रदेश में, बाकी हिंदुस्तान में एक होकर लड़ी। और मैं समाजवादी पार्टी को कहना चाहता हूं कि इस चुनाव में उत्तर प्रदेश में आपका हर एक कार्यकर्ता कांग्रेस पार्टी के कार्यकर्ता से मिलकर एक साथ लड़ा।
Thank you for watching Swatantra TV English Bulletin. For a complete and comprehensive English news bulletin, please do watch Swatantra TV. This is Mahima, signing off. Keep watching Swatantra TV.